1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hey, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I've got to turn that off. 1, 2, 3. Cool. Ooh. Alright, hey, what's up good people? Sean here, and as the title says, the first ever Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel Banlist has finally arrived for standard format. I haven't really read it myself. I'm going to be doing a reaction to it, and I'm also going to be trying to predict what impact this is going to have on the future meta by comparing it to the TCG and OCG. This is going to be fairly unstructured. I might be looking back and forth at different lists here and there, but I think this might be a good thing to do, so let's have a look at the ban list. So I'm going to switch over to Master Duel right now, and we're going to have a look at what the ban list is. It is 3 AM in the morning here in the UK, and so I'm a little bit tired, but that's fine. I'm really excited to be seeing what changes we're going to be seeing to this ban list. So, 25th of April at 10 in, I'm going to assume that's in Japanese Standard Time. We've had a brand new ban list updated, and so I'm going to read through this. The implementation of the Forbidden List is planned to occur on the date below, May 9th. Please see below the changes that are going to be made and our reasoning behind these changes. I'm mostly interested into seeing this part here, the reasoning behind these changes. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has a notorious history where sometimes they won't really tell you why certain things have been banned or not. And we've kind of been able to work it out, what's in their mindset. Quite often, Konami will ban cards if it will impact the sales of a future upcoming set, but that might not really apply to Master Duel. What I'm really hoping for Master Duel is that Master Duel goes its own way and isn't really just, say, copying the TCG and the OCG, but rather that we see that this is its own format designed for people that like Master Duel. So, we're going to have a look at this. We have compiled the trends and results of the decks used in ranked duels. I would love for them to be able to release those results, having some official sources on that. And we'll limit cards and decks with outstandingly high usage and win rates in line with their impact on the metagame. The changes made to the list reflect our aims of preventing decks from being too difficult to counter and ensuring the game's tactical element is not compromised by overly short duels. Yeah, this is all fairly good. This is all fairly good reasoning, promoting healthy in the game. I think one of the biggest problems I'm finding in the game right now is the amount of people that are just choosing to surrender. It actually makes it really hard to complete missions. So if I have a mission that says, say, hey, declare an attack against a monster, or I have a mission that says do 150,000 damage to your opponent, I'm actually struggling to get those missions done because people will just surrender as soon as they see certain cards are played. So we'll see. In addition, this is the first revision of the Forbidden Limited list, and the extension of the limitations take into account new cards that will be added to Master Duel in the future. So just like I said, they are thinking about what's going to be released in the future and whether people will be wanting to pick up those cards and will be wanting to actually ban those cards. Yes, I am seeing it for the first time, Ryan, and yes, I've made the mistake of not saving the 1500 mission. So now that I've seen how hard it is to do that, it now just sits there. I can clear these up for today, but yeah, now this one just sits there because completing this is so hard to do in ranked, and completing this one is so hard to do in ranked as well. There's yeah, just people just don't waste time, so I always keep these up and then try to cycle through the other ones. Anyway, without further ado, let's see what the cards are. Like I said, even though I've opened up this limited list, I haven't actually read them, so We're going to have a look at these and we're going to read them now. So, cards to be limited. There's no real design here. They haven't done it like the traditional list where you can cycle down. They've literally just thrown them all out to you. So, let's see. First of all, we have Cyber Angel Ben 10. Okay, Cyber Angel Ben 10 is going to be banned. I'm going to put up Cyber Angel Ben 10. I'm going to show people what that card does in case people don't know. Because we do have a variety of players on my channel, from people that are beginners to people that are new. Cyber Angel Ben 10. So Cyber Angel Ben 10 is a ritual monster that is often played particularly in Drytrons. It allows you to add one Light Fairy monster, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, add one Light Fairy monster from your deck to your hand if this card is tributed. This is really easy to do in Drytrons because Drytrons have a lot of effects that tribute monsters for other card effects, and with Cyber Angel Ben 10, this allows them to go plus very, very easily. It allows them to search out things like Eva to their hand, Herald of Orange Knight to their hand, and also other Drytron based cards as well, if that they need for their situation. So banning to this will definitely impact the viability of Drytron to quite a bit. We're going to compare this to the TCG and the OCG ban list. So in the TCG ban list from February 7th, the 7th of February 2022, Eva was banned, which was a massive hit to Drytron as well. Ben 10, I'm going to see if Ben 10 was on this list. Ben 10 was limited in the TCG, and so Drytrons were pretty much out of the metagame for that. If we look at YCS Charlotte, there are really no Drytron decks really being played. This is the recent most biggest tournament to be played in the TCG, one of the first YCSs that we've had after COVID. So this will be a massive impact to Drytron. It will be a huge impact to Drytron by seeing that card banned. And then maybe there's other things on the list as well. If I can show you a Drytron list, I'll show you in a second. But Drytron is still relevant in the OCG. This is a recent metagame report on Road of the King. And so Drytron is still one of the most commonly played decks. And if we look at the OCG ban list, maybe we'll see if Ben 10 is banned here. So Ben 10 is not on the ban list for the OCG. Is Eva on the ban list here? No. So they still have Eva and they still have Ben 10. So that's probably why Drytron is really impacted here. So I'm predicting, and again, this is purely just prediction based, but I'm predicting that this is going to be a significant hit to Drytron. If they haven't touched Eva, I think the deck will still be playable, but it won't be as easy to turn about the deck as they have been. But I think it's still playable, depending on what the rest of the ban list says. So let's go back into the Master Duel ban list. And also, I'm keeping an eye on chat. If people want to chime in and say, hey, what they think as well, let me know. I don't play all of these decks myself. I play against them. So I might not know exactly how impactful these are. So feel free to chime in if you are tuning in live as well. So next is Conquistador of the Golden Land. So Conquistador of the Golden Land is obviously an Eldritch support card. We're going to go switch over again, back to Chrome. So Eldritch is still a very, very popular deck right now in the TCG. Again, if we look at the Charlotte breakdown, Eldritch still has a top kind of presence in the game. And the Eldritch decks here were pure Eldritch. Now, it still does very, very well. It's still a very, very powerful deck. And it looks very similar to what we see in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. So, with Conquistador banned, what they are losing is one of their main search targets, which they can set to the field during the end phase. And then this card is a card that says that you can destroy one face-up card in the field. It's going to hurt the consistency of this deck, but I don't think it's going to kill Eldritch outright. By losing one of their main searchable ways to pop a card, it might hurt, say, the mirror match quite a bit, where they want to pop other floodgates, but I think this should be fine. It's a shame that it was banned. Let's have a look at the OCG, how they hit Golden Land. Let's see, Golden Land. So Golden Land is still fully legal in the OCG. There's no Eldritch cards banned in there at all. Nope. Eldritch of the Scarlet Sanguine is on the, is this the limited list? Semi-limited list. So they have started to hit in the OCG, but other than that, I am not seeing major things. But Eldritch isn't really that popular in the OCG. It's still around. There's branded Eldritch, Branded Eldritch is still something people do. We might be able to see a list of that here somewhere. Let's see. Branded Eldritch. No, there's no Branded Eldritch, but there is a Drytron list here. So as you can see, Ben 10 is still played at 3, Eva still played at 2, so this deck is pretty much still at full power in the OCG, but in the TCG, Drytron's all but gone. But Eldritch, I don't think that will kill Eldritch off. Let me see if there's any other Eldritch cards just to point out in the TCG. No, Elixir. Nope. Golden Land. No. So Eldritch is still pretty strong. It'll be interesting to see how this is impacted in Master Duel, whether the deck really gets hit quite a lot. I don't think it will be. I think by losing Conquistador, it won't completely kill the card. Let's show you Conquistador again. But I think it will hurt the consistency of the deck a little bit. But there are other Golden Land cards that can be played, so I don't really think it will hurt the deck too much. But then again, like I said, I haven't seen the full list, so let's go look at Master Duel a little bit more. While I keep an eye on chat, I'm going to pop out chat. Ryan Nelson says, oh no, anyway, activate Preparation of Rights. Limiting Ben 10 just means you can't loop it. It's meant to be a consistency hit that doesn't do anything. If you play Prep and switch to Perfection, it changes nothing. So there you go. So yeah, it's very possible that we might still be seeing more Drytron. So we'll find out. One moment. Alright, sorry about that, folks. Just had to blow my nose there. So, and Ryan also says, Conquistador is a bizarre hit. If you want to replace it with a Golden Land body, you could just play Guardian. If you want to replace it with a card that pops, you could just play Dogmatic Punishments. So, yeah, there are other options there for Eldritch. And I don't think, if it's only Ben 10 that's been hit, then maybe we won't see Drytron completely drop out of the format. It just hits their consistency a little bit. I think hitting the consistency of Drytron is really good because their deck is crazy with how consistent it is. They have to get like a bad hand and you have to punish them in the right choke points for you to really like shut down that deck. And if you don't have certain counters, they're gonna loop their cards anyway. So yeah, it's good to hit the consistency of the deck without maybe hitting the power of it too much. But it would be interesting to see if people switch from Ultimateness more to Perfection instead as their one of their big boss monsters. Right, gonna look at the next list. We've now got the semi-limited cards. Oh, I'm sorry, these are not banned cards, these are cards to be limited. I apologize, I completely misread that. So yeah, like I said, this was my first time reacting to it. So there are no banned cards, it's just being limited. So Ben 10 to 1, Conquistador to 1. Yeah, I think, because now seeing that they're at 1, I think this will be fine. I think those decks will still survive quite a bit. I think there still will be top tier decks. With it being at 1, I don't think it really hurts it too much. And seeing Ben 10 at 1, I don't really think that's too bad because it's still really searchable by many means. And most of the time when I play against Drytron, it loops the same Ben 10 again and again and again. So it will hit their consistency a little bit. Maybe they won't open with it naturally so much, but I don't really think that's going to make too much of a difference. Cards to be semi-limited. DD Dynamite. Why only semi-limited DD Dynamite? Well, actually, no, that's really good. That's a really good change, actually. So, DD Dynamite, for those who don't know, I'll put the card up on the screen. DD Dynamite is notorious right now for being one of the main ways of doing a burn FTK to people in the Master Duel format. Essentially what you do is you use DD Dynamite along with, if we can let this load, use DD Dynamite along with cards like Banisher of the Millions, I believe it's called, or Feast of the Millions. It banishes your whole extra deck, it banishes both players' extra deck, and so that's 30 cards, and then it inflicts 300 damage to the opponent for each of the remove from play cards. Now, what typically happens is this deck will try to dig through its card as much as possible to get either a copy of DD Dynamite and a Trap Trick, or 2 copies of DD Dynamite. Trap Trick is a card that says Trap Trick. Put it on the screen. Trap Trick is a card that says banish one normal trap card from your deck, except Trap Trick. Set one card with the same name directly from your deck, and it can be activated this turn. So if Trap Trick, if you can only play 2 copies of DD Dynamite, you can't really run it with Trap Trick. And Trap Trick is one of their main consistency cards because you have to end up banishing one. Now you can still do what's typically like 4,500 damage to your opponent with 1 copy of DD Dynamite, but if you banish the other one, you're going to have to find another way to burn them. So I guess that doesn't really kill the deck too much. If they open with both copies of DD Dynamite, then they're probably going to FTKU still, or OTKU. But I would have liked to have seen this card get banned outright, personally. I would like to see it disappear, but maybe they don't really want to go that hard. That's kind of a good thing in a way as well, though, because Master Duel is very much pay to win. And people are spending their money on these cards, technically, if you consider the fact that gems have a real-life monetary value. So maybe they don't really want to say to people, hey, we've completely outright banned your favorite deck so that you can't play that deck anymore, and then therefore that might discourage people from continuing to play the game. So maybe that's a smart strategy by Konami to not go too hard by banning a card like DD Dynamite or Cyber Angel Ben 10 or Conquistador. So maybe, yeah, it's tentative. We'll see how impactful this is on the TCG. I think with having only 2 copies of this card, it might hurt the consistency of the deck. Like I said, you can't really use Trap Trick with this anymore, so we'll see what happens. The next card that's on the ban list, to switch back over to Master Duel, is Sekka's Light. So this is an interesting one to me. Sekka's Light, I'll show you what Sekka's Light does, is a cool card. I really like Sekka's Light. It was made popular in, say, 2018 with Burning Abyss, where people will play BA Sekka. But essentially, it's a card that says you can only play this spell card in your deck. You can play no other trap cards and other spell cards. And by doing so, you have a normal spell card which says you can draw 2 cards, and then you can banish this card to reveal 1 monster in your hand and draw 1 more card. So it's a Pot of Greed and an Upstart Goblin or a Metaphors Fusion all in one. It's a really, really good consistency card. Now the decks that you will mostly see this in is like Danger Sekka, and I'm going to see if I can find you guys a picture of what Danger Sekka looks like. So bear with me while I add this as a source. It'll take me a second to find it. This is all from these are all deck lists I have from my research of my tier list. And so I can show you exactly how people use these. So we're going to go to, not over there, we're going to go find their profiles, analysis, season 3, and then let's find Danger. It's in the wrong format. Let me see, can I just maybe do a window capture? Let's see if that will work instead. Bear with me with 1 second, let's do a window capture. And I can show you exactly example of a deck that's going to get hit by this. And while I do that, I might as well set this up. I might as well see what the comments are saying and read out a little bit more. Forgive me, I'm really bad at multitasking as well. So, let's see. Ryan Nelson says, well, we've got quite a few things to say. Okay, alright. Let me find this picture first, and then I will read that out. Let's see. Where's my analysis folder? Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, analysis, dangers, and then let's see. Can I screen cap this? Add as a source. Window capture, and then see if that works. That work? Oh no, it's on the wrong screen. 1 second. Remove that, delete that. Go to Chrome, there we go, and then window capture. Oh, actually, I know what I can do. I can just open it in Chrome, and then that way you guys can see it. Open with. And then we'll grab that. Sorry. Doing this live. How about display capture? Can I just do display capture? There we go. That will work. Okay. All right. So here's an example. This was a person who managed to get a first place win with Danger Sekka. Danger Sekka, as you can see, uses a lot of level 8 monsters. It's a really very interesting deck. It uses things like kaijus, danger monsters, obviously. Good hand shots like Dimensional Shifter. We've got Fairy Tail Luna in there, some Archimedes kind of things. And it's a really good monster mash style beatdown deck, and it then taps into a lot of rank 8 monsters that can go into a lot of higher rank monsters. Zeus is in there, Dingus is in there, Dracolubian's in there. So it's a really cool deck. Sekka's Light has been limited for a while in the TCG, and I'm not really sure why this is getting hit particularly. See, it's not that this deck is doing too much, and that's the only real noteworthy thing that I can think of in Master Duel that's using Sekka's Light right now. So there's no real FTK that's using Sekka's Light. There's no real kind of OTK. It's just like a rogue deck that's using it, really. I'm not really sure why that got here. Now, Sekka's Light has been notorious. It's not banned in the OCG at all, or limited it seems. But in the TCG, it's been limited for a long time. And that did kill off BA Sekka for a while, but I'm not really sure why. I'm not really sure why they've hit this whatsoever. In terms of that deck as well, hitting it to 2 or semi-limiting it is not going to kill that deck either. It's not even going to really hurt the consistency, because a lot of the power of that deck comes from the monsters and their ability to just literally vomit themselves out onto the field. So I think the deck will still be intact, but yeah, I'm not really sure why Konami hit this one. This is a strange one to me. It's at best it's a rogue deck card, so yeah, I'm a bit surprised by that. Let's see. Alright, so let's go back to the Master Duel. I might have messed up all my sources here. There we go. So the next card on the list we're going to look at is, oh wow, Fusion Destiny got semi-limited. Well, you know what that means, guys. If for those who know, and for those who don't, I'll explain it to you. So Fusion Destiny. Fusion Destiny is a fusion spell card that allows you to summon out one Destiny Hero monster using monsters from your hand or deck as fusion material. It means that we are having a card that's going to come to the game soon, and we are having Destiny Hero Phoenix Enforcer. Now, when I say this card is one of the most polarizing cards in the game, this card's insane. If you don't know what Destiny Hero Phoenix Enforcer does, I'll read it out to you, and you should definitely be saving your gems and packs or whatever resources you have, or crafting resources, to get this card, as this card is everywhere. This card allows you to use 1 level 6 or higher hero monster and 1 Destiny Hero monster. So often what you tend to use it with is with Dasher and maybe say Malicious or another kind of Destiny Hero card. Doesn't really matter too much. And as long as you have that, once you draw into Fusion Destiny, you can go and summon out a Phoenix Enforcer. And this says monsters your opponent controls loses 200 attack for each hero card in your graveyard. You can only use the following effects once per turn. Quick effect, you can destroy both one card you control and one card on the field. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can activate this effect, summon one Destiny Hero monster from your graveyard during the standby phase of the turn. This card is incredibly powerful and it's really easy to use. Decks that use cards like Predator Plant Verte Anaconda love to run this card. Let me see, Verte Anaconda. Love to run a card like this, but you can almost throw it into almost any single deck and have it work as a single little package. Let me see if I show you some lists from the TCG from YCS Charlotte. Let's see if we can see any Destiny Hero kind of packages going here. So not in Prank Kids, not in Eldritch, of course, that's normal. Not in Fluandaries. Let's see, Teddy Sorto, are you doing a Destiny package? DPE? No, I'm not seeing any there right now. Was DPE banned or something maybe? Might be wrong. It's been a while since I played the main TCG. Destiny Hero. No. Fusion Destiny was semi-limited though, so it matches the TCG. And let's see how it is in the OCG. Destiny Hero Malicious is currently semi-limited. Fusion Destiny. Fusion Destiny was banned and it was is now limited. So that is a change. So it's legal to play in both the OCG and the TCG. We haven't seen the impact of this really just yet. I think having it at 1 kind of hurts the engine quite a lot, but in the TCG it's at 2, and maybe that's why we're not really seeing it right now. This was probably a recent change. In fact, let me find out when this happened. Well, this must have happened recently, so this was just semi-limited from February. So yeah, no, the Phoenix Enforcer, it has been everywhere for a long time. It's kind of like Red Eyes Dragoon in a way, where it was just this really easy to summon boss monster that almost every deck was running. I know this was run a lot in things like, say, Sky Striker would run DPE quite a lot, and it was just everywhere. So I'm thinking that this is in anticipation that this card will be released into Master Duel very soon. I think what we're probably going to have is a Fusion Festival, and they're gonna do a Destiny Hero pack with that in probably, what is it gonna be, 49 days time we have until the next packs expire. So we'll have some kind of festival with this being released at the same time, and I think a lot of people are gonna buy this. And if you're sick of seeing some cards played now, just wait till this card hits the game. It is very meta, very popular. I'm gonna read out just some of the comments and see what people are saying. Let's see. So, Ryan Nelson says, but surely they will hit other Drytron cards. Now, let me make a big simple. I'll read the letter. Yeah, I should get there too. Faith Beat says, no, not Fusion Destiny, but it will be semi. Please release Destiny Hero Phoenix Enforcer. It will definitely be in the game very soon. Ryan Nelson says, Enforcer can rot. He does not want that card to come in the game. But yeah, this will definitely be in the game. Ryan Nelson then points out, yes, while Dynamite, DD Dynamite has been semi-limited, you can just trap trick Banquet of Millions instead, which is very true. So it gives you another way to really still play the deck. So second to 2 is hilarious. You replace the third with literally any one monster. I agree. Second to 2 is pointless. Son Goku says, hey, what up, Sean? What deck got hit the hardest? Drytron, yeah, kind of technically got hit hardest, but it's not going to really hurt that much, so we'll see. Let's see. They banned Verte in the OCG. Oh, okay, so OCG lost Verte. Unemancipated got hit the most. What the fuck? Unemancipated really. Sekka, Analyzer, and Prank Kids. Oh, so I should go and catch up and see what's on the ban list. So, Phantom Knights of Torn Scales got semi-limited. I have to remind myself what Torn Scales does. So let's go back to Chrome. Let's have a look at Torn Scales. Ah, this card, literally. I was literally just playing 3 back-to-back Phantom Knights decks before I noticed the ban list was updated. So yeah, this is a starter for PK Turbo decks. They discard 1 card to send 1 Phantom Knight card from the deck to the graveyard. It's a really good setup card. I think semi-limited is not going to hurt that deck at all. Unless there were other things that were really banned, then I think that deck is going to be fine. I think this doesn't really change anything, to be honest with you. No, I can't think semi-limited this card will really hurt. Yeah, you won't open it as much, but you still got 2 copies of it. I think that deck is absolutely fine. I think if they really wanted to hit the Phantom Knight engine too much, they really needed to ban Rongo, because Rongo is stupid and cheap. Like, I literally just lost a duel because of Rongo. Sometimes you can beat Rongo. Sometimes you can wait out their turns and actually just use your back row and set cards to delay your inevitable demise. But it's very hard to beat this card. This card is cheap. I think this card should definitely go. To compare it comparatively to the TCG, Rongo is banned in the TCG, and Rongo is doesn't seem to be banned at all. 86, it is number 86, isn't it? Yeah. Looks like in the OCG, Rongo is not on the ban list at all, so there must be another reason why they don't really use that. Is maybe because Gossip Shadow in here. No, Gossip Shadow's not there at all, so I'm not sure why Rongo's not banned in the OCG. Maybe that's kind of why they haven't touched it at all. But Rongo is a very annoying card to play with, And I would very, very like to see this card go for Master Duel as well, rather than say hit Torn Scales or something like that. Let's have a look at Phantom Knight cards. Sky Blaster, Obelisk, Sky Blaster, yep, nothing in the TCG's banned like that, so I can't really predict how that would be. And then OCG, nothing for Phantom Knight is banned either, so yeah, no, yeah, I don't really think that hurts that at all. I think that doesn't really deal with the problem. I think the problem is Rongo, and to an extent, Gossip Shadow. Rongo's a very hard card to fulfill on its own. Basically, if you don't know what it does, if this card has 5 Xyz materials or more, it has the ability to 1, it cannot be destroyed by battle, it's 3000 attack or 3 and defense, and if it has 3 or more materials, it is unaffected by any other card effects. And then 4, your opponent cannot normal summon or special summon monsters, basically shutting down a whole of the decks. And then last of all, you can destroy all cards your opponent controls. This card is very, very annoying to deal with, it's very, very cheap. But often you summon it with 2 materials and then you go and get Gossip Shadow. And then Gossip Shadow is easy to work with rank 3 monsters, level 3 monsters. It can be built with multiple level 3 monsters, and then it has the ability to transfer itself and the materials it has onto another monster. So you put this under Rongo, and then Rongo has all its materials, it's at full power. It's a very, very cheap win condition, and yeah, if you don't draw into certain hand traps, then it can be very, very hard to deal with. But semi-living Torn Scales, that does nothing to the deck at all. I don't really understand this change. I mean, Phantom Knights will still be as powerful as they are. Not that Phantom Knights needed to be hit, in my opinion. I just think the Rongo combo needed to be hit, because that card just steals duels and takes games. Right, next on the list we have Tri-Brigade Fractal Semi-Limited. That's, again, another thing that's kind of pointless. I play Tri-Brigade myself. Played them quite a bit. Very, very fun deck to play. Very, very consistent. So Fractal is their best starter card, easily. You send it to the graveyard to then send your Kit, and then Kit can send your Nerval, and then Nerval can add a card to your hand. Having this semi-limited will hurt the consistency of this deck, but if they haven't hit Tenki at all, we'll still be able to play this deck, no problem whatsoever. Now, Tri-Brigade isn't that popular in the TCG anymore. I'm going to try to find out why, and see if I can give you an example. There's no Tri-Brigade cards here, but Tenki is limited, which hurts the consistency of the deck quite a lot. Tenki, I think, was even banned at one point. If I go to maybe a previous list, maybe it was semi-limited afterwards. But Tenki being limited really hurts the deck quite a lot. And until that really happens, it's currently semi-limited in Japan. But until that really happens, I think Tri-Brigade will just be fine. So if you were sick of Bird Gang, then I'm afraid you're probably going to still see that quite a bit still. Speaking of which, we have Virtual World Roshi Lao Lao. What a strange card to hit. Why hit Lao Lao of all the cards? We do Virtual World. So Virtual World, very, very good, powerful synchro-based strategy. You can turbo things out like VFD, and its main cards are like Nian and Lulu are its main cards. Lao Lao is okay, but I'm not sure why they would hit Lao Lao. I don't think this really does anything. I mean, I know why they could hit the card, I know how powerful it is, but what I don't understand is why semi-limiting this card of anything will really hurt the deck at all. This isn't really like a consistency card for it. It isn't really like an opener or a starter, so it's not even really a big power card. It's just Lao Lao. That's a bit of a bizarre change to me. I don't really understand why they have done that one. I don't think that will hurt Virtual World at all. I think it will be just as powerful. But then again, like I said, maybe this ban list is just to try and see what impact these have on the meta. I don't think it will really deter people from playing Virtual World, which is good in a way. Like I said, I think it would be unwise for Konami to outright ban certain decks while people are still learning the game, and the game is still very much in its infancy. But it's very, very strange to me why they would pick that card at all. Let's read the comments to see what people are saying. We're talking about Animaxipator, we'll get there. Very common in Animaxipator, yep. Torn Scales is cracked, but like, yep, semi-limit doesn't do anything. You can play Reborn for extension, Foolish for setup, Hell, you can play Dark Breath. I completely agree with you, Ryan Nelson. Absolutely. Jumping on for Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm hit with MGS theme. Yeah, MGF, for all he likes to say about his wealth and stuff, his music theme is actually royalty free on YouTube, so that's why it's on my list. Ryan also says, most people only play 2 Karas, so they can just play the third instead of Fractal. Absolutely. Yeah, you don't need multiple Karas. It means you've got 1 less starter, but when you've already got like 15 starters in Tri-Brigade, you're already going to hit over 90%, so the deck is always going to be consistent. So yeah. And Ryan also says, Lao Lao is the weirdest hit of all time. I actually don't know what to say about it. Again, people who are playing 2 Nian can just play another Nian. I completely agree with you. I don't understand why Lao Lao was hit. That makes no sense to me whatsoever. Oh well, Konami go to Konami. It's not the first time I've been treated to Konami's weirdness. Konami do like to ban weird cards sometimes. They're very, very unusual. Sometimes Konami definitely shows their favoritism with some ban lists, when they really don't want to hit certain cards. It's it's a strange hit. It's just really not that kind of a thing. I always spell Lyrilisk wrong. Lyrilisk. Okay, so next on the semi-limited list we have Cobalt. Cobalt, where are you? Cobalt Sparrow. This is a decent, it's an okay hit to Lyrilisk. Lyrilisk. Okay, Lyrilisk version of Tri-Brigade or Tri-Lyrilisk is powerful in Master Duel. I won't discredit it, but it's definitely not the most popular version of the deck. Tri-Brigade Pure and Tri-Brigade Zoo are easily way more powerful and way more, not more powerful, but way more consistent and way more popular than Tri-Brigade Lyrilisk. Lyrilisk is very, very powerful though. Its ability to turbo out monsters is insane. The whole engine is all about consistency. It has very, very good spell starters. It has great monster effect starters. It has some really great boss monsters you can go into. And hitting Cobalt Sparrow does hurt it a little bit, but kind of like hitting, say, Fractal for Tri-Brigade, it won't really hit the deck that much. Now, I suppose if you're playing Tri-Brigade Lyrilisk, you are losing 2 starters as opposed to just the 1 for each archetype, so it might be a little bit of a significant hit to that, but then I don't think it's enough to really hurt those decks at all, so I don't really think that's a massive change in my opinion. So yeah, no, I think that's very, very ineffective in terms of why they wanted to hit that card at all. Very, very strange to me. The next cards, as people have already pointed out, are very, very much a hit to Animancipator. So we have Prank Kid Roxy's going to be semi-limited, and we also have... Do you know what? I'll start with the Animancipator card. We have Animancipator Analyzer. So Animancipator Analyzer is one of their best starters. It's a very, very good level 4 monster. It allows them to excavate top cards of their deck in order to find a level 4 or lower non-tuner rock monster. Again, very, very much like I've said with the other cards that were semi-limited, hitting this card to 2 is not going to really do a whole lot on its own. Of course, Animancipator, if I've seen other hits, say people like to play Sekka's Light in Animancipator, but it doesn't have to play Sekka's Light to win. You can definitely play other variants of Animancipator, and hitting Prank Kid's Roxy's is okay, but honestly I don't think that makes much of a difference at all. But hitting this to 2 is going to hurt you a little bit, but really it's not going to kill off Animancipator whatsoever. I think the only way you're going to really hurt Animancipator is by hitting hitting maybe some of their big boss monsters and making them less of a threat. But I don't think they will do that, as those boss monsters are often quite generic and are using other engines. What killed Animancipator in 2020, was it 20 or 21? No, it was 20. In the TCG was the banning of cards like Mecha Phantom Beast Olion and Auroradon, I think, got banned as well. Some cards got hit to their synchro engine, so they weren't able to like play through hand traps so easily, and they're still a powerful deck, but they're definitely not as able just to push through and just break boards or set up crazy boards through interruptions as easy as they were once. Hitting this to 2, I don't think will make much of a difference whatsoever. The Animancipators are still going to be very, very strong. And like I got a lot of comments in my last Banlist video saying about how I put Emancipator at tier 4. I'll try to say this again, but people probably aren't going to hear this. But the thing with Master Duel is that people are playing what is popular in the Trident kit, what's popular in the TCG and the OCG right now. And Emancipator wasn't popular for a while, so it took about 3 seasons for people to realize that Emancipator is at full power. But it is, with Block Dragon at 3, Union Carrier still being in the game. All of those powerful cards are still available to it, and this deck is very, very powerful. And so my prediction is that an Emancipator will be definitely at least a tier 2 deck by my next ban list, which I suppose I should do very soon, considering we now have a brand new ban list. The last card on this list is Prank Kids Roxy's. Again, I don't think this makes a massive difference. I think it's an okay change. Yeah, it will hit Emancipator a little bit, but Prank Kids is still a very popular deck. If we look at the results for YCS Charlotte, Prank Kids is one of the best decks in the game. Prank Kids Adventure being one of the most popular. Most people only play 2 of each Prank Kids though now. They use their room for other cards. So you got the Fusion Destiny Hero engine there with DPE. I didn't notice that was in this deck earlier, and it is on this list. You got the Adventurer engine, and it's just 2 of each. Playing 3 of each can be tricky, but playing 1 of each isn't enough to loop their cards. So 2 of each is like the sweet spot for Prank Kids. And I've had some people say Prank Kids are bad. Prank Kids are not really that crazy in Master Duel right now, but if you invest in them, you won't regret your choices, because Prank Kids will definitely live around for a very, very long time. It's a very, very good deck list. So yeah, that's kind of that really I will have to say on that. I'm gonna have a look at comments and see what people are thinking and saying. Let's see. Ryan Nelson is saying there aren't like 6 places yet. It's a good thing there isn't an easy way to search at a level 4 rock monster like Doki Doki. Yeah, Doki Doki. And yeah, no, very, very ineffective. And then of course there's one more change. Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon is no longer going to be limited. I can't even remember whether it was semi or limited to 1 or whatever, but unlimiting it is not going to hurt too much. This card was errated, so it was only a hard once per turn, so people weren't really playing multiple copies of Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. But you can play 2 of it maybe if you want to try and open it, but it's not going to really be too much of a change. So looking at the rest of this, I'm just going to have a read of what other things they say, what other changes, and then I'm going to give you my final thoughts on this. So replays of duels played before the Forbidden Limited list becomes effective may be shown on Duel Live for a certain period of time. I don't think that matters anyway. I don't know about you guys, but I never actually watch the duels on Duel Live. I just open it up, surrender immediately, come out the menu immediately, and then I get my gems. So yeah, fine, whatever. Dismantling bonuses resulting from the Forbidden Unlimited list. If a card is designated as limited, semi-limited, or forbidden on this Forbidden Limited, a 20-point craft point bonus will be available when dismantling the card during the period below, May 9th to June 10th. The number of times the bonus can be gained corresponds to the reduction in max copies of card pair deck due to the Forbidden Limited list. So, okay, so this is their way of kind of compensating for your loss in your investment by giving you 20 craft points relative to that thing. And that's a really good change in my opinion. So for example, I think Ben 10 is a super rare, so if you dismantle super rare 2 of them, you will be able to invest 40 points on another super rare card. I think that's a really fair change. I think that's really good. I think an important part of TCG and OCG Yu-Gi-Oh! Is being able to get the value out of your cards once you can no longer use them. So you can sell them off and then you get a monetary value for that. And yeah, I think that's a good refund from people. I think it should have been 30, in my opinion. I think you should just said, yeah, you've lost that card, now here's 30 points, rather than 20, but at least it's not 10, so we'll see. Let me see, for an unlimited card, sorry, I was reading up to here, and then the craft point bonus of the card to be dismantled will be 20 points regardless of the surface finish. So it doesn't matter whether it's rare or if you've got a shiny card, it will be 20 points. That's okay, fine. For an unlimited card, example, max 3 copies in the deck, that becomes limited, max 1 copy deck. A craft point of bonus 20 points will be available. And it's 2 copies in the reduction in. It is 2 copies because the reduction in the max copies will be to 1 copy. Yep, understandable. And then if the card has no finish, you'll get 30 craft points will be gained. The usual 10 plus 10. Oh, it's a bonus. Oh, okay, I see. And then the usual 10 craft points. Oh, okay, so you are getting 30 points. Oh, okay, that's fine. That's fair. So you're getting whatever you would normally have dismantled to get rid of it, plus an extra 20. That's fair. That's really, really good. I like that. That's a really good change. And then normal, just stuff in, change to improve game balance. When changes are made, the details of the change will be communicated before they are implemented. Changes will be announced usually 2 weeks beforehand. However, this might change if there's urgent ban list. Thank you for playing Master Duel. So, the ban list, my final thoughts. I don't think you're going to really see much of a change in the meta at all. I think Drytron and Eldritch will still be top tier decks. I think all the decks that were hit here will still be incredibly top tier and be very, very powerful. I don't think this does enough to alter the meta whatsoever. I don't think this does enough to say level the playing field at all. If I have a copy of my ban list here, I'll see if I can go find a copy of it real quick and explain some of my reasoning here. I find my desktop. Oh, I'm just gonna go find my video of it. 1 second. Let's see. We go to YouTube. We'll go to my channel, and then we'll go to the season 4. That's the card tier list. Let's go for the ban list. So this is roughly the current tier list. I don't think this will change at all. I think Drytron. Oh, so you can't see it. 1 second. So I don't think this will change at all. I think you'll still see Drytron, Eldritch, and Tri-Brigade will all still be top tier. I think you might see Shadow being a bit more popular, but I think it will still stay as powerful as it is because Eldritch keeps Shadow in check quite heavily. It hits these decks quite well when it goes first. If you manage to set up Winder and have a way with, say, Schism, then get another Winder, then it can be very annoying, but I don't think Shadows will really change. I think Phantom Knights will definitely stay the same, and I don't really think the hits really hurt anything on this deck list, on this tier list at all. I think Animancipator was already going to climb because it's increasing in popularity, so this was already going to be at like tier 2, maybe even tier 1, depending on tournament results off this month. We've still got 1 more week of tournaments to go before I can really say for sure how well this deck has climbed, but yeah, I don't really think these changes make a lot of difference to the ban list. So I'm interested in hearing what you guys think. Do you guys think this is a massive change, or what do you guys think? I'm going to have a read of the comments and see what people are saying. Let's have a look. You already playing Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. How many you want thanks to Black Metal? Yeah, it is a bit pointless. Konami's a bit dumb in that regard. The knowledge they're refunding is actually a good thing. If they're willing to do that, why would they not just hit the high rarity cards that matter? Yeah, I don't know. Ryan Roper says, yeah, kind of a very disappointing ban list. I agree. It doesn't, like I said, I think the takeaway from this is that they're trying to make sure the game remains as popular as possible. I think they don't want I don't think they want to hurt the deck in a way, hurt the game in a way where people are like, hey, we don't want to play the game anymore because you completely destroyed my deck that I maybe spent £60 or dollars or whatever on to try and build. But a ban list ideally is to keep the game going fresh, and so people will see different things. And I don't think this ban list did enough to maybe change the landscape of the meta at all. I think you're still going to be seeing the same popular decks that you will be seeing for a while. This ban list is quite broad, so it's hit almost all the most popular decks in a way that's not going to kill them off, but at the same time is not going to really reduce their popularity either. And could have been better in my opinion. Could have been better. maybe I'm hoping. Well, let's see. Master Duel released in January. It's taken 4 seasons for us to get the first ban list, and hopefully it's not gonna be that long between the next one. Hopefully we don't have to wait. Well, it's gonna be May. So May, June, July, August, September. Hopefully we don't have to wait till September before we get the next major ban list. But yeah, I kind of wish this was a little bit more interesting and there's a little bit more to write home about here. I mean, nothing was banned outright, and nothing was unbanned either, so that was kind of changing. Although I don't really know what should have happened, if that makes sense. I don't really know what people really would have wanted. I really wanted Eva to get hit. I really wanted to see Eva get limited at least, or banned outright, because I think Eva and Ben 10 are the 2 main engine things for Drytron, for their ability to be able to get so many resources. And I think seeing that hit would be a little bit more fair. Even with like Tri Brigade being as powerful as it is and Eldritch being as powerful as it is, it's still very, very much a go first meta, where if you go second, you better pray you open the right cards to break a board, otherwise you are just not playing the game at all. It's meaning that in certain other decks, for my other decks to just kind of compete, I have to play like Kaijus just for them also just to be able to compete and play in the game at all. So yeah, I would have liked this ban list to have been a little bit more drastic. That being said, what I will say is still positive, and I am going to try and promote the silver lining, not try and be completely negative, is that the current tier list for the game is quite level, I would say. There have been formats in the past of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where it literally has been like tier 1 is one deck, tier 2 is another deck, tier 3 might be 3 decks, and then tier 4 is everything else. And we've still got a very healthy spread. This is still very, very good for a game. There's a lot of powerful decks that you can play and you can choose to play that are doing very, very well. They might not be the deck that you want to play, but the game is still in a healthy state whatsoever. Like Ryan's just pointed out, what's not fun is when you do go into go into a game and you have to sit around and wait for your opponent to make their crazy combo board, because it just takes forever to do so. So that is a bit unenjoyable. I also think surrendering is kind of a bit of a problem at the moment. A lot of people look at their hands and then they see what their opponent's doing, and if they can't stop them outright immediately, then they're not hit. Then they just scoop up and give up as well. And also, what I thought was interesting by this list is that they didn't really hit any say of the meta cards. So right now, a ban list for this game in terms of the meta, Maxi, Ash, Call by the Grave, Harpies, Droplets, Gammon, they didn't really hit any of these cards whatsoever. So you're going to still see these cards everywhere. If they had hit maybe Maxi to 2 or Ash to 2, maybe you would have seen an impact on the meta as well, because these cards are very, very polarizing, and your deck really comes down to, can it play through these popular cards or can it not? If it can't play through them, then you pretty much are going to lose the game. But these cards on their own are very, very powerful and they won't touch whatsoever. It has been a focus mainly on decks and not say actually just the popularity of individual cards. But I tell you now, Ash Blossom and Maxi, Call by the Grave, if you don't have these cards, you want to pick up these cards, because man, these cards are going to be here forever, and you're going to see them for a very, very long time. Not saying that I want them to get hit, but I'm saying that if they wanted to shake up their meta at all and they really wanted to change the game and the state it is, they really should have maybe hit some of these cards as well as just focusing on other decks. Like having these to 2 would have definitely made like a massive impact, and then people maybe would have played other counters more as well. So yeah, Banlist has happened, come and gone. It's always exciting when a Banlist comes. You would hope that it'll be a big change, but really, that really didn't do a whole lot in my opinion. We'll see whether the format will change quite a lot. Upcoming on the channel, I'm currently in the process of doing the analysis for the current season to work out what has been the most popular decks and most successful decks. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same as last season, and I don't really think going into season 5 that we will see much of a change. But it's still 2 weeks before before this new Banlist will happen, so we'll see how it goes. Anywho, that's going to be the video there, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. As always, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and so on. And I would love to hear what you think about the Banlist. Do you think these changes were significant enough, or do you think that it's not going to make much of a difference, kind of the way that I do? I'll see you soon. Take care.